Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition. Great to be with you. Thanks for tuning in. Electric Blue. Electric Light Orchestra. Yeah. Producers keep saying you're dressing in black, and Steven is back. Speaking of dark, he was out for a couple days. Welcome back, Steven. It's good
so
to
excited. He's back.
Good to see. Not the same when he's not back there. See that?
No, it's not. I get stressed out when he's not back there.
I know.
Sometimes you have to make yourself missed in order to feel loved.
Yeah. What is it? Out of sight, out of mind, or absence makes the heart grow fonder. I don't know which one it is. We're glad you're back. How you feel?
I still got a little bit of the cold, but the fever and all that kind of stuff, that's gone. So just it was a head cold,
Were you laid up?
For a couple days, I was, feeling pretty yucky, especially when the fever. It's the worst when you're all achy and everything. But yeah, still it'll linger with me for another week or so. But I'm able to come back to work. So
I should have kept quiet. I was talking about it one day, and the next day you were out and you got you had already been infected. My talking about it, I was talking about cold and flu, and I'll report now, and it's not good. The latest update on one of the updates, anyway, on the cold and flu epidemic, 37 children have now fallen to the influenza. Complications due to influenza have died. 37.
What would be if you kids say, okay, you need to do these top 5 things right now for flu, what would they be? Give me 3. How about that?
I would try to teach them about hygiene, depending on their age, to wash all the things I talk about and have written about. Teach them about hygiene, trying to teach them to keep their hands away from their face, make them aware, teach them a little bit about cold and flu and what it is, and get them on a proper diet, give them some supplements, probably get them vaccinated with the flu shot.
All right. See, that's simple, easy, quick.
Now, a lot of parents wouldn't give their child the flu shot.
It's 30% effective this year, the flu shot.
Yes, I talked to my daughter over the weekend about that. The good scientists, and they're good at the CDC, they guessed wrong this year. She was telling me about that. It's not because
guess.
They guess. They have to. It's a good. I say guess. They project. They forecast.
Okay.
And they base it on data that from other countries and how viruses behave. They know a lot. And every year they have to anticipate what the virus, how it's going to mutate. What will it be next year? They usually do a good job at that. This year, the virus tricked them. I mean, it outplayed them.
Well,
so.
Evolution. Okay. So the virus evolves. This is the reason why
they keep evolving.
Okay. So even though it's the same flu type thing,
it's an influenza, Gary, but these viruses they have the ability to alter their DNA. They can change, they can mutate. And when they mutate, sometimes they even become more virulent, even stronger. They've been around for millions of years. That's what people don't understand. They have survived. They may be microscopic and one-celled, but they are mighty in their genius and trying to, and they serve a purpose. They do, people say, what? They do serve a purpose. That's a story for another day. But my daughter was telling me that she went and got the flu shot. She was encouraging me to get it, and I am going to get it this year.
I did mine. I went to
CV.
I went to a local
CVS?
store. I went to Publix. Here in Florida, we have Publix, and Publix has a little thing where you can.
Well, they have 2 versions of it. They have the regular one, then they have the supercharged.
Really?
Yeah. I'm using that language. There's more technical language in that, but there's 2 versions of it. 3 and 4. I'll look it up and during the break.
See, that resonates. You tell me supercharged, I'm like, okay.
That would be for people, the elderly, those who are ill. Anybody over 65. I'll look that up during the break, and I'll try to be more articulate and give the proper language. But there are 2 versions. 37 children, and these children were not sickly children. They were not sickly. And people think that, I know statistics are abstractions. I get that. But these were children. Can you imagine these parents, how they feel? And I'm just saying, and they're elder. Thousands of people die every year from influenza and complications due to influenza. And with the elderly, what they worry about a lot is then pneumonia setting in. Because you get infected with the virus, pneumonia is a bacteria. It's a bacterial infection. And many elderly, you talk to any nurse in a nursing home or a CNA that works in a nursing home, they will tell you pneumonia is bad news. And many elderly die from pneumonia, complications due to pneumonia.
My buddy Steve died 5 years ago in December 7th, 5 years ago, from complications from pneumonia. Same age. Matter of fact, he's a year younger than me.
There you go. And that was a young person. He died on Pearl Harbor Day.
Yeah, and he was worked in construction, was somewhat healthy. Well, we thought he was somewhat healthy, and he got sick, couldn't shake it, got pneumonia, and died.
He died, and that's what you worry about. And so this stuff is serious business. And I know there are many who say, I talk with my daughter quite a bit. It's interesting. She has a PhD in virology, and you'd think we would spend hours talking about this. We don't. She doesn't want to do that with me. But we did spend about 15 minutes or so talking about this.
She's so smart, she makes you feel dumb, though.
I know. Don't I know? I thought I was smart. She's smarter than I am. Yeah. And I know. And last week I did a show that's all archived, talking about myths associated with the vaccine. One of my colleagues does a health talk show that's highly politically charged. And he would just be all over me right now and talk about a conspiracy with drug companies. And I mean, oh, please.
But it's myths.
It wears me out. So the vaccine is not as effective as it could be. So there's the art and the science of all of this. And the people at the CDC work mightily. These are scientists and bureaucrats that live and work in obscurity. I mean, they do a wonderful job there. I'm sorry. I know people want to criticize the government at every bend and turn. I'm not inclined to want to do that. I mean, when it's proper and right, yes. But they do a good service, and they help a lot of people. They save a lot of lives, man.
Have you been by that facility in Atlanta?
Yes.
I've driven by the facility. What a unbelievable facility.
I know. And I would just say this. If tomorrow all vaccines were eliminated, would we be better off, or would we be worse off? I think we all know the answer to that. Dominic Ostrander will be my guest today. We're going to talk about aging successfully, and there are at least three vectors or ways to get at this. We can talk about food, we can talk about dietary supplements, and we can talk about lifestyle. And what is it that you can do to age successfully? Now, with that phrase, successful aging or aging successfully, can mean a lot of different things to different people. Most would probably, the most intuitive, common response you get from people, living a long life. That means that's what aging successfully. Well, I wonder about that. There's a piece of that that's missing. I'll tell you what that piece is when we come back. And we'll get into this today. We're going to invite you to, as we always do, to join the conversation. When we come back, Gary will give you the breakdown on how to connect. Let's talk nutrition. Aging successfully, coast to coast.
I'm Joy McCarthy, holistic nutritionist, and I expect more from my multivitamin. I've researched many vitamins, and what's truly different about Every Woman's One Daily from New Chapter is that it's fermented with probiotics and whole foods and gentle even on an empty stomach. Every Woman's One Daily helps you feel good every day, giving you immune, energy, and stress support, and nutrients for bone and heart health. You will notice a difference. Every Woman's One Daily recently won the Best Multivitamin Award, and I love that it's non-GMO project verified. Discover the wisdom of nature with New Chapter.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Bodyfigure's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Bodyvigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Bodyvigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing. Aging successfully. Well, yeah, that's a good thing to do if you can accomplish it. And knowing how to do that and being consistent with the program, putting something together that will help you do that. And then, of course, we have to deal with the issue: what is it exactly? What do we mean by that? And how do you do it? And what realistically should you expect? as a species, what are we how long are we really programmed to live anyway? We'll see. We're going to get into that today. There are more people living to age 100. There are more centenarians on the planet. That is true. But we have to ask the question why that is. And as I said, we can get at this from a number of different angles. Of course, one of the most, and Dominique Ostrander will be along here in a moment. She has some thoughts and ideas about that as an educator for Jarrow Formulas. They thought about it. They even have supplements that are geared toward people aging successfully. Monaco, the Principality of Monaco, for example, Japan, Singapore. These are places where people live a long time. A long time. If I had a moment, I would go to the CIA World Fact Book and see what average life expectancy, how countries rank. I'll bet you those three are there at the top. The United Nations has one, and the World Health Organization also has a listing of countries where people live a long time. And typically women live longer than men in those countries as well. Average life expectancy in our country is 78 years right now. In the year 1900, average life expectancy was about mid-40s. In the year 1900. That wasn't all that long ago. So we've come a long way for different reasons. Better sanitation methods, knowing how to fight infectious diseases, reducing birth rate deaths, and so on. All of these better medical science, all of these things, better care, medical care, have contributed to people living longer. It's not because we have genetically advanced. Nevertheless, these days it's very popular to talk about superfoods. It's marketing. You know, superfoods. Okay, whatever. I guess if that's the way to, it's a buzzword. It's a term that gets people's attention. But maybe, it's not just superfoods, but super living. Knowing how to live, knowing how to eat. It usually takes more than one thing to cause disease. And it usually takes more than one thing to age successfully as well, and to live, to be healthy. As it turns out, there are certain foods that you can eat that will indeed help promote a better odds in living longer. Cruciferous vegetables, for example, is a category that gets a lot of attention. And I'm a fan. And cruciferous vegetables, known as brassica vegetables, there's a whole variety of them there. Cabbage, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower, bok choy, radishes, kale. If you like those foods, you're in business. If you don't, you're out of business. Those foods are indeed remarkable in helping the body to help create, sustain, and reclaim health. They are rich in nutrients. They have vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, folate. They have minerals in them, potassium, calcium, selenium, and carotenoids such as lutein, beta-carotene, and zeaxanthin. I mean, these are, I guess, in a sense, super in that sense. They contain what they call glucosinolates. These are the things, these compounds are what make them green and give them that pungent flavor. Cruciferous vegetables like Brussels sprouts. I mean, when you start to cook them, they smell rank. I mean, they don't. And that pushes people away from them. But they are powerful in their effect. glucosinolates tend to help moderate stress in the inflammation response. They have antimicrobial properties, fight off infection. And some claim have anti-cancer properties as well. And we're just talking about food here now. Food. Food is not just food. Food can make a difference. Leafy greens. There's certain cruciferous vegetables, such as kale and collard greens, can also contribute to cognitive function. It's now being investigated. Now, many of you probably eat this way, and this is no breaking news for you. But do you have kale, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, red cabbage in particular, in your day-to-day diet? By the way, lest I forget, they're high in fiber, these foods. They're vegetables. They're plants. And there's another compound in cruciferous vegetables, especially broccoli, that I'll tell you about, that even comes in the form of a supplement. LTN Coast to Coast.
Battling sinus, bronchial disorders, allergies, and other seasonal irritants can be a constant struggle, making this the
perfect complement to your beauty regimen? Try Form Essentials Zinnia. The finest of its kind, Zinnia offers twice as much biotin as other formulas, which has proven to unlock the vibrancy in even the dullest of hair, skin, and nails. Zinnia breaks through and rejuvenates cells internally, helping you achieve the allure of effortless beauty. Reviving your hair, skin, and nails has never been easier. This essential blend of biotin, alpha-lipoic, and hyaluronic acid, collagen, and vitamin C creates lasting enhancements to your natural good looks. Don't go on wondering. You're worth the results. This combination of ingredients can only be found in Zinnia. Pamper yourself with a proven bit of affordable luxury and start looking your best. Ask for Zinnia by name at your nearest vitamin retailer to begin your journey to restored nails, head-turning hair, and radiant skin today. For more information, visit formessentials.com.
When your alarm goes off, do you jump out of bed with excitement? Or does it take multiple alarms, a few snooze buttons, or a morning caffeine fix to get you going? These habits and daily stress cause a vicious cycle in which sleep becomes increasingly elusive. In fact, 54% of Americans report struggles to fall or stay asleep. For a better night's rest, look no further than Solace, an all-natural dietary supplement that supports healthy sleep and relaxation, so you get the rest you need to wake up clear-eyed, alert, and ready for the day. Solace has given thousands a better night's rest and the power to take back their mornings while enjoying the day ahead of them. Solace is formulated with non-addictive, scientifically proven, all-natural ingredients that support sleep and relaxation, such as melatonin, tryptophan, and 5-HTP. For more information or to order Solace, visit TakeSolace.com. Solace, for healthy sleep naturally.
excellent. And glad you could tune in today. And if you could, Gary, we'll deal with that later.
I'm playing with my phone because I'm on the LTN app.
Okay, good.
I'm sorry.
No, have fun.
We can watch live on here now.
Yeah, the LTN app, you can watch the show from there if you like, if you drift away from your radio. Most people listen and catch the show on the radio, which is great. We love that. I went to the CIA World Fact Book. Monaco, Japan, and Singapore. I was right on the money. Top 3, average life expectancy in the Principality of Monaco. That's not a bastion of science and technology, okay? That's beautiful beaches, hotels, right? What are they doing there? You know what? You want to know what their average life expectancy is? 89 years. 89. Japan, 85. Singapore, 85. Macau is number 4 at 84. San Marino, 83. Maybe it is the beaches, the hotels, and all the beautiful people. Iceland, well, I'll pass there, but 83. They're just frozen in time. That's Hong Kong, 83. Andorra, 82.9, almost 83. Switzerland, almost 83. South Korea, 82. Israel, 82. Where's the U.S.? Let me scroll down. U.S. Where's the U.S.? Oh, there we are. Number 43. My guest today is Dominique Ostrander from Jarrow Formulas, educator. We're talking about aging successfully. Listen, Monaco, we're number 43. Monaco at 78 years of age. That's the average life expectancy. Monaco is number 1 on the CIA World Fact Book. What? If you look at Monaco's beautiful. I would love to go to Monaco for vacation. Wasn't that where Princess Grace?
Yes.
Right? Great. I guess it is the beaches. What do you think, Dominique? Is it the beaches in Monaco that's making people live that long?
That's a good question. You have to wonder, we talk about this all the time, whether it's, it's a multifaceted approach. So whether their lifestyle, I have to say that I do believe it's their lifestyle, just the way that they live, a much calmer, what seems to be, at least as an observer, a calmer way of living.
Check this out. In the year 1900, 75% of the people in the United States of America died before reaching the age of 65. I'll repeat that. In the year 1900, 75% of the people died before age 65. Now, 65 is considered the new 55 or 45. Today, 70% of people die after the age of 65, 70% plus, according to my research. I mean, we've come a long way in many ways, but, it's not because we're leading as a general population, Dominique, we're leading a generally healthy life. The diet in this country is an embarrassment, don't you think?
Completely.
I know you were listening. I was talking about foods that are quote unquote called superfoods these days because they contribute to aging. I zeroed in immediately on the cruciferous vegetables. But there's this compound in broccoli that is really remarkable, and you know what I'm going to say too. If you had to guess,
yes,
you know what it is. Well, why don't you tell the audience what it is?
Well, we're talking about it's a concentration of sulforaphane glucosinolate, or we also call them SGS.
Yep.
also known as glucoraphanin. So
Yep,
that's the compound you're talking about. That's the miracle compound.
sulforaphane. It is, and it's in broccoli. And if you can eat broccoli till it's coming out of your ears, it wouldn't hurt. There are any number of studies. One study found sulforaphane, that compound found in broccoli, resulted in a four-fold reduction in in cancer cells. I mean, and in particular, prostate cancer. So middle-aged men and older should be eating broccoli until it's coming out of their ears, me included.
Not broccoli and cheese soup, though, right?
No, Gary,
Well, I
not
have to be
broccoli
specific
soup.
because
That's I've taken that boy to lunch a number of times. We've gone out, and he'll go, if he has this gene, he'll sniff out mac and cheese. You could have it hidden in a vault. He'll know it's in the building, and he'll know any cream soup that's available. He'll smell it a mile away.
That's funny.
But he doesn't do that anymore, do we, Gary? No. You look nice with your haircut, by the way.
thank you.
You cut your hair, Stevie Wonder. I mean, what was this?
It's a mess. Somebody can wear a helmet so my head's all messed up. If you're watching the show, you can see.
I'm picking on him. How are you doing, Dominique? How are you?
Good, really good. Actually.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your program in aging successfully?
An 8.
Really?
I would say so. I would say an 8. I definitely have room for improvement. I have my need for sugar at times, so I can definitely. But I think everything else I would say is up there.
Don't ask me that question.
Nothing's ever perfect, right?
No, nothing's ever perfect. We come back. Well, let's talk about we'll get to some more foods, and then for people who have to leave this first portion of the show, we'll mention some of the supplements from Jarrow Formulas that are designed to increase the likelihood and aid or assist with aging successfully. Let's talk nutrition, coast to coast and worldwide.
Whether you spend your free time on a treadmill, under a car, or in your garden, if your active lifestyle leaves you sore, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce may be exactly what you need. Inflammaforce has a natural herb blend that acts as an anti-inflammatory to help maintain healthy joint and mobility support. There are standardized herbs like white willow, boswellia, turmeric, ginger, and devil's claw. The vegetarian capsule promotes easy digestion and a fast-acting dissolve process. Inflammaforce includes a proprietary enzyme herbal blend full of antioxidants and flavonoids that target pain and inflammation throughout the body. Body Vigor's Inflammaforce contains ingredients that support normal, healthy joint flexibility and function, builds healthy tissue, and helps with your recovery process. So if you're tired of sore joints and inflamed muscles, Body Vigor's Inflammaforce is your answer. Purchase Inflammaforce exclusively on Amazon.com.
Successful aging. Well, I wonder if that's a contradiction in terms. Aging means loss, defeat, weakness, death. Successful means gains, victory, strength, achievement. Put those together. I mean, is it a contradiction in terms? Welcome back to Let's Talk Nutrition. My guest is Dominique Ostrander. Dominique, back in 1997, were you born then?
Back in which year?
1997. Were you born in 1997? Yes, you were.
Yes, I was.
Okay. There were two fellows, last names Rowe and Kahn. They wrote a seminal article. It's cited in the literature all the time, even to this day. And they were dealing with the concept of successful aging. I want to read to you and to the audience their definition of successful aging. Successful aging is, quote, the ability to maintain three behaviors or characteristics, they said. Low risk of disease and disease-related disability, high mental and physical function, and active engagement in life, close quote. I'll repeat. Low risk of disease and disease-related disability, high mental and physical function, and active engagement in life. What do you make of that definition?
Perfect.
You like it?
I do. I like it.
Do you think it covers all? Do you think it gets
No,
somebody from home plate all the way around the bases back to home again?
Well, no, because it does leave out the dietary component. I agree.
Yeah,
That part is, yeah.
But yeah,
the other part is very relevant that people don't think about.
Low risk of disease and disease-related disability, high mental and physical function, and active engagement in life. That's what they consider successful aging. You know, I guess in a word, those are elements. I think there are pieces missing, but the nutritional part is really fundamental. I think it's the driving force myself in successful aging. I sort of line up with Michael Crawford, and I think that nutrition and diet together represent the driving force in evolution, and I think they represent a driving force in aging successfully as a unit. That's a point of view. Now, some may disagree with that. Genetics is involved and the environment. I get all that. But diet and nutrition, driving force, in my opinion. Now, Jar of Formulas, you all have thought about aging successfully quite a bit because as I went on your website today, I was looking at the different supplements, and you have quite a few that get at this concept, don't you?
We do.
Yeah.
So in terms of, you have the Brocomax, which is what we were talking about before the break, which was our supplement that contains, we actually have the highest sulforaphane content on the market with our Brocomax, and we have the added myrosinase, which is an enzyme that increases the bioavailability of sulforaphane, because in traditional cooking methods with broccoli, for example, you lose a lot of the sulforaphane content. And part of that conversion, or the ability to extract the sulforaphanes from the broccoli, is our own gut bacteria, for example, plays a big part in how well we'll take in the sulforaphanes. And the bacterial conversion is really based on an individual. So you really don't, while it's good for you and you still get the fiber, you may not get the true sulforaphane content from the broccoli. So in the Brocomax, we have the myrosinase, which is the naturally occurring enzyme that increases the bioavailability of the sulforaphanes.
Mm-hmm.
So then, let's move on. So PQQ.
Well, no. I don't want you to move on yet. Wait, no.
Okay.
Hold on a second.
Okay.
Up on the screen, Gary is showing the Brocomax. How long have you all had that in your repertoire? That particular
We've had it for a long time. It's got to be, oh my gosh, at least 10 years, I would think. 8 years.
So apparently it must do well. Otherwise, Jaro Rogavan would have had that pulled from the SKUs.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this has been out for 8-9 years, and now this whole marketing thing of superfoods, and they've already been doing it for the past 8, 9
10 years. That's been around about 10 years, somewhere in there. The labeling has changed. The packaging has changed. It's in a capsule. How many a day?
It's 1 capsule a day is the serving for it, and it's 30 milligrams of sulforaphane glucosinolate.
Mm-hmm. That's especially important for men. Does it? And it's often talked about. Broccoli is often talked about men and their prostate, and it's good for the prostate. But does it confer? Does the compound sulforaphane confer any benefits for women to women?
I think so. As far as healthy cell replication, it definitely does.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I mean, there's no reason why a woman who is looking for added protection. I mean, it's a phase 2 liver detox, so you definitely have benefits there. Again,
well,
the question would remain how estrogenic a woman is.
Okay, we'll deal with that in a second. Sulforaphane, since it's derived from a plant, is a phytochemical, and it's in the broccoli sprouts. It's not in the shaft of the plant. It's in the sprouts, right? The florets.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm.
All right. It's been known to put or exert effects on cancer prevention by detoxifying certain chemical compounds, and thereby also enhancing antioxidation ability of the body. So in that sense, it would be beneficial for, it's not gender specific. So, yeah, I'm a big fan. There's we could talk more about broccoli sprouts, but this product from Jaro Formulas, Brocco Max, sold in fine health stores throughout the United States. I'm a big fan. I like that supplement a lot, and I like broccoli. I do not boil the broccoli. I steam it for the reason that Dominique alluded to. If you're going to boil it, don't throw out the water. Use good water if you're going to boil it, and then drink the water too. How about that? Since you're extracting the compounds. That's what herbalists do. That's how they extract the compounds from the plant. Why are you going to throw out that water?
Feeling tired after your
Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition 2018 edition. Glad you could stop by. Hope you had a wonderful weekend and you're having a good start to your week wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show and whatever you may be doing. Aging successfully, that's the theme. And I was telling Gary during the break that what I think I'm going to do this year, I'm going to devote my articles, I'm going to write a series on this theme. I've been wanting to do that for a long time and lay it out there. There's so many parts and components to it. It's a complicated topic, aging successfully. What does it mean? Not everybody agrees on a definition. Is it living a long life? Is it quality of life? Is it living a long life with quality of life? And how do you do that? And what do you consider a long life? 100, 110, what? What do you think?
Okay, so in my younger years, when I was 13 years old, my mom worked at a nursing home. So that meant at the age of 13, when she needed somebody to fill in, Gary works in a nursing home. And I walked around there until I was like 18, working there on and off. And one of the things that I realized that's really big in my mind is being able to have a quality of life when I get older.
Exactly. And you see many people in a nursing home that are ridden with morbidity, comorbidities, more than one disease process in play. Can't walk, their quality of life is abysmal. Is that aging successfully because you're living a long time? That's like saying, well, we've been married 50 years, but you argued every day for 50 years. It's been a horrible experience. Congratulations on 50 years of misery. Rather than being married 5 years and every day was glorious. I'll take the 5. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think most people would too, don't you think?
I don't know. I'm not sure. So aging, we can talk about that, and I will write about that. What are the different conceptualizations, definitions of that concept? Everybody must have something. Probably each person has their own understanding of it. I dare say, thematically, phenomenologically, there are probably themes that cut across all people. And in case you're wondering, who is recorded as the longest lived person? It happened to be a woman. Her name was Jeanne Calment. She lived to be 122 years, 5 months, and 14 days. She was French. She was from Arles, France. There's a story told that on her 120th birthday, she was interviewed, and there was a journalist there interviewing her. And the journalist is reported to have said, quote, "Well, I guess I'll see you next year," close quote. And then it's reported that she said, and she shot back, quote, "I don't see why not. You look to be in pretty good health to me." Close quote. Yeah. She's the oldest recorded living human. And when you look at her diet and her lifestyle, I think she was known to, there were some elements of her lifestyle that were not all that healthy. Then there was Jack LaLanne, of course. He lived to be 95. He was born in September of 1914. And he did pretty good. Jack LaLanne did pretty good. I mean, he was doing incredible physical feats of strength in his later life, pulling tugboats, swimming and pulling a tugboat and things like that. He was extraordinary, no doubt. Now, if you take a picture of Keith Richards, who's the guitar player for the Rolling Stones, he was born in 1943, December 18th. Take a look at that fella. He's still around. He's still playing. In one presentation I did, I had some photographs of him. I'm showing it on the screen. He looks pretty rough. You can see the smoking and, man, just devastating. Nevertheless, aging successfully, leading a good life, right? Good life in terms of your relationships, your spiritual life, having good physical health, mental health. There's so many facets. Being intrigued, being excited about getting up every day, learning, growing. That's, to me, at least in part, what I think aging successfully can mean. I don't embrace the concept of retirement. I don't. I just don't. I know some people do, and I get it, and I respect that. There he is. I mean, he's my age, brother. There's me, and there's Keith Richards. We're almost the same age. I'm just saying. And I had cancer on top of it. Environmentally caused, by the way. My guest is Dominique Ostrander from Jar Formulas. Dominique, welcome back. Gary was showing a photograph of Keith Richards and me doing a comparison. Just saying. It does make a difference how you live and how you eat and all of that, doesn't it, Dominique?
It does, and it's funny because you mentioned Jack LaLanne, and as an exercise physiologist, I had the privilege, really, and I say privilege, of meeting and talking to Jack LaLanne at the American College of Sports Medicine meeting, and I want to say this was in 1998.
Mm-hmm.
So Jack LaLanne would have been 84, I think, then, and he did one-handed push-ups in front of a room full of physicians and exercise physiologists. Got up there. He's small. He's short. He's a small man, and he was wearing the jumpsuit that he was always known for wearing.
Yeah, I'm showing
and
it. I have a photograph of him, and there it is. I'm showing it right now. There he is standing. Yeah, go ahead.
But amazing. And his wife was just as spunky and just as healthy, and she stood up in front of the audience, and I will never forget this. And again, a room full of physicians and exercise physiologists, and she said her name and how old she was, and she said, and I dye my hair, this is not my real color, and I weigh 120 pounds, and I'm this tall. And she said, that way you can just stop thinking about that while I'm talking to you and pay attention to what I'm saying. And she was awesome, and both of them were very spunky. And
what was his residual message to you all? What did he?
It was about he literally told the story, and it was amazing. He said, if somebody offered you $1 million for your right arm, would you give it your right arm? And most of you would say no. And if they said, I'll give you $1 million for your right leg, most of you would say no. But yet, you won't take care of it either.
That's deep.
That he told.
Pretty, yeah. Gets it, right? You won't take care of it.
He gets it.
Have you heard the commercial about the guy? He says, I can give you one car. You can pick any car you want. Have you heard this commercial?
I have not.
And you can pick whatever it is. The catch is that's the only car you're ever going to get. You would probably go to extraordinary measures to take care of it. Why don't you do that with your body?
Feeling tired after your meal? Occasional gas.
Almost 52% of men experience erectile dysfunction and benign prostatic hyperplasia. If you've had challenges with virility, sexual health, or low energy, Body Vigor's Alpha Extension may be the answer for you. Body Vigor's Alpha Extension can help revitalize your alpha male and extend your love. Our formula is one of the highest quality nutraceuticals available, formulated to support the processes involved in promoting a healthy male sex drive, energy, and stamina. Alpha Extension has 2 powerful herbal blends, Virilo Max, which focuses on male sexual health, and T-Pump Activator, which helps balance your testosterone levels. Revitalize your alpha male with Body Vigor's Alpha Extension, exclusively available on Amazon.com.
How to age successfully? Well, you might start with your diet. Diet and nutrition. That's a good place to start. In my opinion, that's the driving force. Earlier in the show, I alluded to cruciferous vegetables. You know, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cauliflower. And I mentioned going into one commercial break that don't cook it in water, don't bake it, don't steam it. Well, even Dr. Michael Greger thinks that steaming is not a good idea either. Dominique Ostrander is my guest. Dominique, welcome back. Your product, that Brocomax, that's sulforaphane, isn't it?
It is.
Okay. It turns out, see how you react to this. The main active ingredient in broccoli, for example, is thought to be sulforaphane. And it's supposed to protect your brain, your eyes, fight free radicals, detoxify, boost detoxification enzymes, and prevent and treat cancer. I mean, there are all kinds of medical claims made and studies to support them, these claims. It turns out Michael Greger, Dr. Greger, he makes the argument that sulforaphane is a chemical flare, the formation of it is like a chemical flare reaction, he says, and it requires the mixing of a precursor compound with an enzyme, which is destroyed by cooking the enzyme. This is why you get dramatic cancer suppression, he says, from eating raw broccoli, raw cauliflower, raw Brussels sprouts. But hardly, he says, and I'm quoting him, hardly anything from boiled, microwaved, or steamed, or steaming. He does say, except for microwave broccoli, which actually retains some cancer-fighting abilities. But then he poses the question, who wants to eat raw Brussels sprouts? The answer is hardly anybody. It turns out also that to get the benefits of raw, the strategy to get the benefits of raw in cooked form, there is a strategy. In raw broccoli, the sulforaphane precursor is glucoraphanin, which mixes with the enzyme myrinase. So you got glucoraphanin and myrinase, they mix together. And they then form sulforaphane. If you don't have any myrosinase, if you don't have that enzyme, there is no sulforaphane.
That's exactly right.
So here's what Dr. Greger suggests. He knows that if you chew it and chop it up, you break it down and you'll get the sulforaphane. He said, so here's what you can do. And then you digest it, and then it sits in your stomach, and then the sulforaphane is born. That's where it's born. When you're eating the plant, when you're eating those plants, sulforaphane isn't present. It's ultimately made from those precursors in the body, then once inside the body. Here's what he recommends. Take the raw broccoli, the raw cauliflower, the raw Brussels sprouts, chop them up, and let them sit for about 40 minutes. And voila, you'll have sulforaphane. Then you can steam it or cook it. What do you make of that?
That's interesting. So when you're letting it sit, what's happening?
What's happening is that the glucoraphanin mixes with the myrosinase to form the sulforaphane. When you chop it up, you're activating those precursors.
Oh, I see. Okay, the chopping. Okay, got it.
Like when you chew it up in your mouth and swallow it, it sits in your stomach, and that's where the sulforaphane is ultimately made. The sulforaphane is not the compound in the broccoli. The sulforaphane has to be made from the glucoraphanin and the myrosinase.
And the myrosinase, exactly.
You understand?
I do.
That's why.
So I wonder if, so then theoretically, if you were to, well, I don't know, because, let's take frozen vegetables.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So they're flash frozen.
Yep.
And they had to take a stalk or a head of broccoli, And if you're buying broccoli florets, those have been chopped into florets.
Right, but the florets haven't been touched. They have not.
Right, so
they're still intact.
florets.
You still have the sulforaphane is ultimately made. Those compounds, the myrosinase and the glucoraphaphane, are found in the florets, not in the shaft. So even with the frozen, it still has to be chewed to release those compounds, the precursors to make the sulforaphane in your stomach. So this is a clever little strategy that Dr. Greger comes up with. Take the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts, and the what else? Yeah, these cruciferous vegetables. Chop them up, let them sit for 40 minutes. Then, if you want to steam the chopped up, you can do that without destroying you'll still get the sulforaphane because it's already made. Pretty clever. So in that Brocomax, what were the two compounds in there?
So our Brocomax actually contains myrosinase.
Exactly. And that's why it contains myrosinase, because no myrosinase, no sulforaphane. See how smart you all are at Jar of Formulas? We'll be right back.
Women who are pregnant or planning to have a child have specific nutritional needs. Maintaining optimal nutritional intake is important for mother and baby. Body Vigor's Preferred Prenatal can help mother and baby receive the appropriate building blocks for growth, development, and healthy function. The Preferred Prenatal formula provides essential vitamins and minerals, along with added support ingredients such as folic acid and DHA. Preferred Prenatal also incorporates a bonus herbal blend to help the mom-to-be with the uncomfortable side effects of pregnancy, like nausea, vomiting, mood swings, and uterine health. Support a healthy pregnancy for you and your baby with Preferred Prenatal, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Welcome back. Welcome to Let's Talk Nutrition, wherever and however you may be listening or watching the show, and whatever you may be doing, the 2018 edition of LTN. My guest is, Dominique Ostrander from Jarrow Formulas. Beyond Brocomax, you have a couple of other nifty dietary supplements that contribute to the aging successfully, at least in my opinion. Can you read my mind?
Well, would PQQ be one of them?
Yep, for sure. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, so you want me to keep going?
Yeah.
As far as that, well, CoQ10, I think CoQ10 is always up there as far as, I think if you're going to start somewhere, if you're looking for a place to start, I would say CoQ10.
Okay.
Shilajit, I would put Shilajit up there.
Who?
Parastilbene.
What was that? What was that? What was that when you called it? What is it?
It's Shilajit fulvic acid complex.
Can you spell it?
Sure. It's SHILAJIT.
Shilajit. Is that you have that in a supplement?
We do. It enhances mitochondrial function and CoQ10 activity. So that's the purpose of.
How long have you all had that in the SKUs?
Oh gosh, it's been a long time actually.
Shilajit fulvic acid complex. You've never. Exactly. That's the first time in all the years I've known you. You got to be. By the way, you got to be careful how you say that too.
I know.
You could slip of the tongue, and we'd have to dump you, so to speak. That's the first time you've ever mentioned it on the show. Do you realize that? I've never heard.
Really?
Yes, I've never heard you say that before. Shilajit fulvic acid Well, what in the blazes is it?
Well, that's why I had to ask her to spell it. I've never.
What is it?
So it's a purified and standardized Shilajit, and it's the raw material is Prima V, which is sourced from the Himalayas. It's mineral rich, and it enhances ATP levels by supporting CoQ10 in the cells.
So given that, it would be a good idea to take the Shilajit fulvic acid complex with CoQ10.
Yes, definitely. Definitely. There's really, I don't, again, it's kind of one of those things like where I've said it before. I love the combination of PQQ and CoQ10. They are so synergistic. And it's the same thing with Shilajit and CoQ10. So you can, either one, I mean, you could do all three, and that would be fine too.
What is ATP?
Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate, no ATP, you die. For you to blink your eye, to move that motor out of that one car and put it into another that you were working on, to get up across, whatever you do, you need energy. Energy, ATP, adenosine triphosphate, is the master fuel of the body. Your body has an agenda 24, every nanosecond of every moment of your life. That's to make ATP. It makes it from creatine. It makes it from the different energy source. That's why you eat. One of the reasons why you eat is to make sure that you're getting the proper energy sources so the body can make ATP. You need creatine, glucagon, amino acids, fatty acids. All can be used to make ATP, Gary. And again, no ATP, you die. And so what Dominique is talking about, the mitochondria are the energy factories in the cells. And they take the food that you ate is now broken down into these chemical compounds, and it burns those compounds in the cell, in the mitochondria, and that's called metabolism.
When you get older, does it decrease?
The ability to make ATP, yes, because you don't digest as well, you don't eat as well. The mitochondria what are you talking about? Mitochondrial biogenesis, the making of new mitochondria. You have
exactly. And I'm going to email you right now this article that was published in Medical News Today. I'm emailing it right now so you have it. And actually, Gary's on this email too.
The mitochondria biogenesis.
10 benefits of Shilajit.
Okay.
10 benefits of Shilajit.
Thank you.
And it's pretty amazing.
I've never taken that supplement. That's one I haven't taken. I have not taken it. But to your point about mitochondria biogenesis, which he's talking about, Gary, is the body's ability to make new mitochondria. You need the mitochondria to have metabolism, to have that energy burned. Otherwise, you're not going anywhere.
Exactly. And so the problem with aging is that the mitochondria that we already have are worn out and sluggish, and they don't function as good as they once did. And depending upon our lifestyles, that contributes to their breakdown as well. So, and there's only 3 things that create new mitochondria: intense aerobic exercise, pyrroloquinone, PQQ, or caloric restriction. And that is true caloric restriction. 3 things.
I'm going to have you repeat those in a minute. What you just mentioned is interesting. In my writing, and I'm going to devote, I think, 2018 to writing articles now, publishing those every month on successful aging. I consider these the 7 deadly sins of aging. Stripped down refined processed carbohydrates. 2, saturated and trans fats in excess. 3, sodium and sugar in excess. 4, sustained stress. 5, sleep deficiency. 6, surplus calories. And 7, sedentary lifestyle. Those are my 7 deadly sins of aging. I believe that those 7, in combination or alone, account for most of the variants of aging.
I emphatically agree with you.
And then each of those in the book, I got sick and everything came to a screeching halt. In this book that I've been working on, called The 7 Deadly Sins of Aging, and it's a long title. There's more to it. There are 7 virtues, but those 7, those that I just listed, those are the ones I think, as I've thought about it for a long time, really ring people up like a pinball machine and account for most of the accelerated aging and disease processes that they experience as they age. But you can see that jar of formulas, Brocomax, PQQ, CoQ10, Shilajit with fulvic acid. Those are just some of the supplements that they have to help you age more successfully. Then you have them in combination. CoQ10 with PQQ, CoQ10 with Shilajit. You can do those in combination. Amazing stuff. Aging successfully. LTN, coast to coast and worldwide.
Are your joints feeling out of date and stiff? Is that old sports injury flaring up? Is your body aching from the daily wear and tear at work? Body Vigor's Joint Ready keeps you at the ready for any joint pain that gets out of line. Unfortunately, as we age, joint pain becomes more common. Body Vigor's Joint Ready can help provide relief so you can continue to go about your day. Our formula contains sulfated forms of glucosamine and chondroitin. Studies show that these sulfated forms are more effective than regular glucosamine bound to hydrochloride. Joint Ready promotes a healthy inflammatory response, facilitates cartilage synthesis, and provides additional antioxidants. Keep your joints at the ready with Body Vigor's Joint Ready, exclusively on Amazon.com.
Here's the LTN health question of the day. We do this every day around this time. Earlier, I was talking about these cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, for example. And what is the best way to eat them? Should you cook them in water? Should you steam them? Is steaming better than cooking them in water? Broil them? Or eat them raw? Here's the question. Is this statement true or false? The best way to eat broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, for example, is to eat them raw to get the sulforaphane. Is that statement true or false? The best way to get the sulforaphane from broccoli, Brussels sprouts, or cauliflower is to eat them raw. Is that statement true or false? Here's the number to call to win a $25 supplement gift card from Vitamin Discount Center.
877-897-8255. That's 877-897-8255, or anywhere in the sound of my voice at 813-636-8255.
So remember we were talking, Dominique, and we were talking about frozen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would argue that even frozen broccoli is not a good idea. Here's why. When they freeze the broccoli, when they freeze it, they have to they blanch it. They flash cook it. They blanch it before they freeze it. And when they do that, what they do is they deactivate the myrosinase. They destroy the myrosinase. Therefore, the myrosinase is dead by the time you take it out of your freezer. So even then, if you chop it up and wait 40 minutes, you won't be able to make sulforaphane. What do you make of that?
I understand that. I can see that. I can see how that could happen. Absolutely.
It's interesting.
One of the things that we should still say is that cruciferous vegetables have amazing amounts of fiber.
Yep.
So they're really good for you as far as that goes. And for people that have, let's say, diverticulitis, eating raw vegetables is not a good idea.
It's hard.
Especially cruciferous vegetables. It's very hard on their digestive systems and can actually bring on an attack.
Yeah.
So you definitely don't want to have too many raw vegetables like that. So, I mean, again, that's why you want to supplement with something like Brocomax. So if you want the benefits of a sulforaphane, then that's what you would head for.
They already got it put together. That's why that's such a great supplement. Then the other anti-aging or aging successful, what I call aging successfully supplements, PQQ, CoQ10, Shilajit, and Shilajit fulvic acid complex that they make. They have antioxidant formulas that are terrific. Yeah, they even have one. You have an antioxidant formula. Then you have an eye formula that is terrific as well, loaded with antioxidants. You have a curcumin product that's wonderful for successful aging. I can keep going down the list from Jarrow formulas.
And the main, there's a thematic congruity with all of it, whether it's an anti-inflammatory, whether it's cellular function, enhanced cellular function, the creation of new mitochondria, the resistance to redox cycling, for example. I mean, there's all kinds of there's a thematic congruity there.
There is.
In all of the supplements.
Yeah, and let's go to Palm Harbor, Florida. Pretty nice over there. Palm Harbor, and Mildred lives there. Mildred, welcome to the show. Happy New Year. We haven't talked to you in 2018.
That's right.
How are you?
Okay, I'm doing well.
Good. So, is this statement true or false? The best way to eat Brussels sprouts, broccoli, and cauliflower is raw, because that's how you get the sulforaphane ultimately. Is that statement true or false?
Oh, I think maybe it's true, kind of.
It is true, absolutely. Not kinda. Congratulations. That's like it's like a soft true. No, no, man, it's true. Very good, Mildred. You won $25 supplement. You sound like one of my students. Well, Dr. Garga, it's not completely false. It's not completely true. Can you give me credit for it? No, man, you got it wrong. The answer is true. You said it's false. Well, it's kind of true. No. Oh, you're funny. No, you were hedging your bets. You weren't sure, but you won. So congratulations, Mildred. All right, take care of yourself. Boy, these listeners and viewers are pretty clever. It's sort of kind of true. It creeps up on being true. It's like statistical significance. It's sneaking up on statistical significance. No, man, it either is statistically significant or it isn't. Mm-hmm. my one professor in my program of studies for my PhD, one of the stat courses I took, it would drive him crazy when the students would say that. Well, Dr. Brewer, it's almost significant. No, it either is or it isn't. Mm-hmm. Well, this has been good. I learned a lot. Did you learn anything today?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I really liked that car analogy. That was beautiful.
You like the car analogy? Works.
I do. I think that it really does work. That's great.
If I gave you one car, you could pick any car you wanted. Any one. I don't care what it is. Ferrari, Maserati, whatever. BMW, XYZ. But the only thing is, that's the only car you're ever going to get. That one. People would do extraordinary things to take care of that. I don't understand why they don't take care of their body like that. Do you?
Precisely. No, I do not.
Mm-hmm. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's true. You only get one body. That's it. This is it. There's no line where you can go in, You get it. You're all smart. Your health is your wealth, and your health is the wealth of those that care about and love you, and you know that I love you.
Have you discovered that your post-activity electrolyte drink contains a lot of not-so-good-for-you ingredients? EcoDrink Natural Stick Packs provide only the nutrients and electrolytes